So my question to you is, why then do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters to bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well?
Well, this is obviously a long discussion. If you want to talk to me about that, set up an interview. This isn't about me and my business. It's about these 2 guys on Saturday night.
Now I'm excited. Now I'm looking forward to the fight. But first thing was first. Dana White looks like he's about to marry my baby girl. Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Turki Al-Sheikh are about to take my daughter down the aisle. I have a real daughter now. That's why I'm likening boxing, the most masculine sport, to a little girl right now.
This week, Dana White took more shots from real reporters than Canelo and Crawford will take from each other on Saturday night. So strap in, because this is not your usual cheerleader fluff. Like and subscribe, and if you love UFC, comment UFC 100%. A boxing reporter stood up and asked the only question that mattered. Why do you want sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act? Why do you want a UFC-style system inside boxing? Why chase a model tied to a reported $375 million in antitrust payouts with 2 more class actions on the way? That is a direct hit to the chin, and Dana tried to slip it with the usual move. Set up an interview. This is about the fighters on Saturday. But the room did not blink. Dana needs to understand something. Boxing reporters are not the same crowd that gets nervous about losing UFC press passes. These are real reporters. They love the sport, they ask real questions. They are not going to bow to bullying. They are not going to laugh at the jokes and move on. They pressed him. They kept pressing, and I loved it. You could see it in his face. He was not ready for actual journalism. The contrast with UFC fight weeks was brutal. At UFC events, he has neutered the room. It is softballs all day. Do you like Chicago? What did you eat? Favorite pizza? At this boxing presser, the tone was different. This was not a pep rally, this was work. Then came the follow-up. The California State Athletic Commission held a hearing on TKO's push to change the Ali Act. It got pushed 3 months. Can we talk about that? Dana tried the same dodge. Set up an interview. It's America, baby. Ask these 2 fighters about Saturday night. He kept saying, this press conference is not about me. But he was the one on that stage. He was the one trying to reshape the rules of the sport. That door was open. Shawn Zittel was the man in the arena. Absolute Chad energy, calm voice, sharp questions, no fear. It has been a long time since someone called Dana on his nonsense on a live mic, and you could tell Dana was not prepared. The deflection was wild, but also exactly what we have seen for years. He has said he wants to change the Ali Act so he can run boxing like the UFC. Boxers and coaches and managers hate that idea because the Ali Act protects fighters. That is the point of the law. I laughed when Dana tried to float a one-on-one interview with Zittel, as if he will walk into a room with a guy who will grill him without a safety net. No way, not after that. Calling Zittel a showboat for asking informed questions was weak. This was not even hard-hitting journalism. This was standard accountability. God forbid someone with a boxing channel wants to challenge plans that would make boxing worse for athletes. It is not only that I enjoy seeing Dana squirm. I do. But what I love more is a reporter who sounds like he loves his sport. You can tell when a journalist is invested. Compare that to the endless carousel of generic questions we get in MMA scrums. Yes, guys like John Morgan and Brett Okamoto love MMA, but the rinse and repeat format makes it easy to forget they care. Be honest. If you are a new fan, you might think John Morgan is a guy they dragged out of a buffet line and slapped a press pass on. You could wake me up from a 4-day binge and I could still ask better questions than that. That is how low the bar has sunk. Back to the presser. Zittel asked the obvious. If TKO fails to change the Ali Act, will you still invest in boxing? Will you compete anyway? Dana snapped. If you want to be do it in private. Set up the interview. This is not the time. Fight, fight, fight. He tried to run him off the mic. Terrence and Sal, good fight. You got a question for them? No? Beat it. Next. The crowd booed. Loud and long. Because everyone knows the truth. Dana barely takes interviews with non-establishment media anymore. That moment was the only face-to-face shot Zittel was ever going to get. He took it. He landed it. On a boxing stage with a boxing question. That is fair game. Dana has made it clear he wants to change the Ali Act. He chose to promote this event. He sat on that stage. So it is open season on questions about his plan. He has bragged for years that he will fix boxing, that he will be the man who shows the sport how it is done. But the second a knowledgeable boxing reporter pressed him, he folded. Zittel was a bit confrontational, sure, but that is understandable when you see a promoter known for squeezing athletes step into your sport. If you care about boxing, you should be worried. I have watched him burn bridges with fighters for about 17 years. You do not have to guess how this story goes. Dana then laid out his plan, a boxing version of the Contender Series. Best versus best, undefeated versus undefeated. He said he will make you care about the first fight of the night, not just the main event. Then he said something that gave the game away. He said once those fighters reach their potential, they will make big money with Saudi Arabia. He tried to soften it. They will make big money here too, but we know how his feeder system works. He pays Contender Series fighters about $5,000 to show. He will not pay more in boxing, no chance. He fired back with the usual line. Everyone throws fighter pay around without doing the homework. He said most boxers make $100 a round. That claim is his shield. But the numbers tell a different story at the top. Look at Conor McGregor. Across his UFC main events, he sold about 13.3 million pay-per-views. People estimate he earned around $115 million from the UFC. Now compare that to his one boxing night with Floyd Mayweather. 4.3 million buys, $100 million. One night, one check. That is why so many MMA stars flirt with boxing. The money is bigger, even for MMA guys who aren't elite boxers. Ilia Topuria chirped at Terence Crawford because he knows that would be the biggest bag of his life. You don't need a spreadsheet to see it. You can see it with your eyes. Boxing pays at the top. MMA pays the brand. Dana kept pushing back. He said fighter pay talk is not true. He said nobody is questioning what Canelo and Crawford will get paid on this event. I am, because there's no official purse on record. What is Canelo's base purse? He danced a bit. Imagine what it takes to get Canelo to fight Crawford. Imagine a man moving up in weight while undefeated. Then he slipped. I've heard 100 million probably. The room froze, because no UFC fighter has ever had a base purse like that. Dana reached for a lifeline, Conor McGregor, and the reporter stung him. That was in boxing. Dana nodded. Checkmate. On himself. He proved the entire point in 4K. The only time a UFC star touched 9 figures in a single night was when he left for a boxing ring. Dana thought he had a clever clapback. He stepped on a rake. You could see it in his face. He was not ready for actual journalism. We are also getting mixed messages. A couple years back, he said he would revolutionize boxing. Now he says he will run a feeder league that pushes stars to the Saudis when they're ready. That is not a revolution, that is a farm system. A promotion that signs B-tier fighters where most never become stars will not change the sport. It sounds like cold feet. It sounds like a hedge. A top promoter weighed in on the new project with TKO and Turki Al-Sheikh. He said this is what he assumed from the jump. Lower-level fighters, young prospects, try to build them into pay-per-view stars. He said he doesn't think it works. He also said these guys have power and they are clever, so they will try something compelling. But the format is not new. Boxing has done this over and over. Everyone is trying to build stars. Nothing new here. I don't see how Dana's Boxing Contender Series turns a profit. He says most UFC fighters don't drive revenue. That is true. Yet he wants to run a boxing promotion where nobody knows the fighters and he says he will pay them big. Where is the money coming from? This math doesn't add up. He got used to a monopoly in MMA. In MMA, the end goal is the UFC. In boxing, there are options everywhere. Networks, platforms, promoters. Fighters have leverage. Fighters have freedom. You cannot bully the market. This was a rough week for Dana in the media. He got bullied, he got pressed, he got grilled, and I loved it. He has lived inside an echo chamber with yes men for too long. His scrums have turned into pep rallies. He forgot what happens when a real reporter wants a real answer. He came up short every single time. Don't be shocked when Shawn Zittel never gets a credential for a TKO boxing event again. Don't be shocked when Dana never sits down with that female interviewer who checked him either. That's how they play it. This week also exposed how curated UFC media has become. Reporters are scared to lose their cushy UFC beats, so they toss up beach balls. In boxing, Dana has less clout. He is not the king of the hill. He is just another promoter, a major one, but not the biggest. He is not bald god here. He is a rookie in a Shark Tank, and he knows it. Boxing is a different beast. He didn't get first mover advantage. He can't write the rule book like he did with Western MMA. He will not find the same success. Not with this plan, not with this attitude. The sport will test him. The press will test him. The fans will test him. And that is good for everyone. One more note on pay since he keeps hiding behind homework. Boxers get paid more than MMA as a whole. It's not even close. You can have an MMA headliner at the Sphere pull a couple million, while an undercard boxer on a massive show can take home more than that. Someone asked, which guy? Then you get the classic dodge. We don't want to open the books. You're right though. At the very top you can be your own boss. The fighter answers, not me. I'm talking about the undercard. That takes me out of the equation. So how much? Silence. That says it all. Tell me what you think about the roast of Dana White that went down this week. Did you enjoy watching him get grilled? Do you think his boxing play will work when it drops in 2026? Drop a comment and let me know. If you liked the video, then like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.